Now let's take a look at today's latest business headlines. And for a little help with that, let's bring in business and markets analyst and Newsmax contributor Seth Denson. Good morning, Seth.
Hey, good morning, Alex.
All right, Seth. Well, Deutsche Bank, the first U.S. bank to forecast a recession in the coming year as the Federal Reserve tries to manage record high inflation. Seth, do you agree with the bank's prediction? And how can Americans prepare themselves?
Yeah, I mean, certainly you can see why they're making their predictions. They're looking at the global economy and recognizing the position the global economy's in. And you've got places like the International Monetary Fund and some other places in Europe reforecasting their GDP growth. But here's the reality. I don't think that we see a recession this year. I just don't. I think, certainly the economy in Q1 grew at about 1.7% GDP as opposed to 7% the same time the previous year. But that was a bounce back. I think that the economy is certainly slowing, but I don't think we're in a recession. Remember, for a recession, technically we say that that's 2 quarters of negative GDP growth. So what Americans can do, listen, what they should be doing anyway, right? Look at your debt position. That's the first primary place you want to look. You know that the Fed's going to raise interest rates. Anything that has a variable debt component, credit card debt, things like that, mortgages, you want to make sure those are structured in a stable debt capacity to try to pay those things down and just be good and prepared, right? Maybe not enter into new debt as we might see a slowdown in the economy.
Well, that's very good advice, Seth. All right, here's another hot topic. High gas prices. General Motors and Honda, they're now working to develop a series of affordable electric vehicles. That's under the price tag of $30,000. Seth, is this the next step towards going fully electric? And is that low price tag even realistic?
If they're doing it, they're going to make money at it. At least I hope so. So I guess it is realistic. I question where they're going to get these chips. Let's recognize, too, that nickel is a key component in making these cars because of batteries and lithium ion. And 10%, more than 10% of that comes from Russia. So where are they going to get these raw materials? You got neon gas that's required in these chips. That comes out of Ukraine. So I love that they're putting this together. We need more affordable cars. I like that the idea that we're expanding into electric. Again, let's see what they come out with. I'm hoping for them.
All right, let's stay on the road. Volkswagen is now cutting 60% of its gas models to focus on quality over quantity. Now, is cutting production by more than a half a good idea for them?
Well, part of that may be strategic in their PR. They may have good PR people like Alison Maloney or something working for them and says, hey, we're going to have to cut production anyway because we can't get raw materials to make cars. So let's have a good reason as to why. Volkswagen delivered about 9 million cars in 2021. So if you think about that, they're cutting that in half. That's 4 million. Their stock is already down 35 points over the last year. So, again, I wonder if this is really what's going on or if this is just the spin that they're putting on it.
I always love a good Alison Maloney shout out. Now to Starbucks, everyone loves their coffee. But what about Starbucks NFTs? Now, the company is apparently announcing its plans to get into NFTs in the next year. Okay. First, what exactly is an NFT, and should Starbucks fans be excited about this?
Yeah, I'm going to botch this because, quite frankly, so an NFT, a non-fungible token, is effectively a data set. So if we think about it, and I love this, so there was a Marvel comic that sold last year on auction, or 2 weeks ago on auction, that was from 1939. It sold for over $2 million. That's a tangible thing. Well, in the new world of tangible things, it's digital things. So it's part of the blockchain, cryptocurrency, that whole world. But effectively, Starbucks is saying we're getting into this. I mean, this interview right here, Alex, this technically we could have as an NFT if Newsmax wants to bundle it up and sell it. It's the raw data set. Now, who pays for it? Well, in my way of saying it, people that have more dollars than cents, but we'll just have to wait and see.
You broke it down pretty well. It's still a little confusing, but I think I understand. All right, Seth, Amazon and Samsung are just 2 of the many companies now relocating their factories to Texas and Arizona because of the lower taxes in those states. Why don't more states follow suit, and shouldn't the Biden administration kind of take note of this happening?
I mean, they should, and more states should follow suit. But I think there's 2 things that are we'll call it headwinds for these states. One is they just don't know how to get out of their own way, and they tend to double down on what they think is the right thing to do, which is taxes. These more blue states, New York, California, they think when you have revenue shortage, you don't restructure how you get revenue, you restructure how you've gotten revenue, and that's taxes. And then secondarily, I think nobody is willing to invest the time. You can't just flip the switch and go no income tax. You have to make sure you do that over a process of time. And in our election cycle, no elected officials are willing to take short-term pain for long-term gain. And that's unfortunately why a lot of these states won't do what the Lone Star State, Florida, Arizona, some of these other states that are booming have done.
Yeah, exactly. Seth Denson, always informative. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thanks, Alex.